गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We were looking at tamasic dana, and there it was told, that if charity is done with misappropriated money, then it does not give you the merit, it is not purifying, and it's just a deal that you are making with with whoever, that give me more money and 10% I'll give or 20% I'll give, but that person has already made it by wrong means. And then such people, if they are making temples, giving it to ashram, so many cases you will see that they are robed in the ashrams or babas, and they are making the black money into white, and all that is tamasic. And in this way it was told that that such a person, the tamasic person, he is very calculative. Whatever he gives, whatever he is giving, he calculates, he counts, and also when he gives, he does not give it with respect, he does not give it with reverence, he does not give it keeping the dignity intact of the person to whom he is giving the charity. And in this manner, in short, the tamasic dan was talked about. And then towards the 308 and 309 and 310th OV, we are in Jnaneshwari chapter 17 verse number 22, OV number 309. And in this way, O Arjuna, if only sattvic actions can free one from the bonds of worldly existence, you may raise a doubt and ask as to why I have described to you the faulty actions. So everywhere we saw, what did we see? We saw yajna, we saw tapas, we saw dan, isn't it? And everywhere it was told that only the sattvic must be pursued, cultivated, because when yajna, action, is done as an offering to the divine, it becomes freeing. When tapasya is done for the divine, it purifies the ego. When dan is given in the right manner and attitude, then it cuts our importance giving to the world. We start living in abundance. We are totally comfortable that whatever is there is enough. And in this way, if we have to pursue sattvic actions only, and they only, through the sattva only, the gateway to to the threshold of reality is, or the gateway to the reality is. Here Jnaneshwar Maharaj is saying, you may raise a doubt and ask as to why I describe to you the faulty actions. This is our modern day news. Our news in all over the globe doesn't concentrate on positivity. It concentrates only on negativity. It enhances the negativity. It shows how many things are going wrong, and the psychology is that when you get tired of looking at the negative, you will become positive. So when the cigarette advertisement is shown, they show the cancer, this, that. Everywhere you see, you open the news and there is only negative news. And that is the modern day psychology. I don't know where they get it from. And yes, to some extent it may work, but it is not the ultimate. And one must know. And therefore here, before we see what Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, why are the Rajasic and Tamasic attitudes towards Yajna, Dan and Tapas told? So that we recognize, not practice, so that we recognize that we should not go in this direction. Knowledge is power. And therefore, when we know, many of us, we don't even know what is Sattvic Yajna, Rajasic Yajna and Tamasic Yajna. Did we know in that detail as we explained here? What is Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic Yajna? What is Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic Dan? Now, once we have the information, we will become alert. Not to go the wrong Rajasic or Tamasic way. Or if we are in that by default, then remaining alert so that we come towards the Sattvic. So this could be one reason why Krishna is telling Arjuna. But let's see what Jnaneshwar Maharaj says in the 311th OV. Parino santita vivasi bheti nahi nidhisi काधू न साहता जैसी भाती न लगे तैसे शुद्ध सत्वा आड आहे रजतमाचे कवाड ते भेदणे या ते कीड म्हणावे का आम्ही श्रद्धादि दानात जे समस्त ही क्रिया जात सांगितले का व्याप्त तिही गुणी तेत भरमवसे तिन्ही न सांगोची ऐसे मानी परिसत्व दावावया दोन्ही बोलिलो ये रे जे दोही माझी तिजे असे ते दोन्ही सांडिताची दिसे अहोरात्र त्यागे जैसे संध्या रूप. He says, but one cannot get hold of a buried treasure without driving away the goblins sitting on it, or one cannot kindle the fire without suffering smoke to start with. In the same way, what is wrong? What is wrong if I remove the veil of Rajas and Tamas quality, obscuring the Sattva quality, isn't it? Even in the olden times, when जब चूल्हा लगाते थे तो you get the, or in campfire also, if first the smoke comes, then the fire comes. You are driving in the Alps, then it's so foggy, then you need those bright lights in order to pierce through to see what is in the distance. So here the knowledge is the light, and this Rajas and Tamas is covering the Sattva. And what will happen when we come to Sattva? We'll recognize that Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, all the three were covering the truth. So first we recognize that Rajas and Tamas are covering Sattva, And then when we come to sattva, then we realize that all the three are covering the truth, covering the self, covering the subjective principle, the atma, the spirit. See, because that possibility of recognition is only possible when we are of sattvic disposition. It is not possible in tamasic disposition, it is not possible in rajasic disposition, only in sattvic. So here he says that I have mentioned in the last verses that the action from faith to charities are all pervaded by the three gunas, while in fact I had not thought of mentioning the other two gunas. I had to do so to show the sattva quality clearly. Only when we compare, and we are all experts at comparing. How? From childhood, our parents have been comparing us to the person who was doing well in sports, to the person who was doing well in mathematics, to the person who is coming first in the class, and continuously comparison. And they think they are motivating us. That's why we became sannyasi. No. No. Huh? So only by comparison we can come to know what is lacking or in one thing and what is more in the other. Same way, by telling the sattva, the rajas and tamas, so that we are clearly, distinctly available to the uniqueness of qualities of sattva as against rajas and tamas with regards to yajna, dan, tapa, shraddha, anna, etc., etc., whatever, all those things that we saw. When a thing occurs along with two other things, it can be seen clearly when the two are eliminated, as evening becomes clear after the close of the day and before nightfall. In the daytime, it is very bright, you can't see things very clearly. When too much light, in dark also you cannot see. When the perfect lighting is there, then everything is clear. And therefore, with this deliberation of the three gunas in various areas, he has Jnaneshwar Maharaj has tried to bring us the clarity that is required so that we can recognize the correct way to pursue these three. Continuing, where are we? 3:15. तैसे रजतम विनाशे तिजे ते जे उत्तम दिसे ते सत्व हे आपैसे फावासीये एवं दाखवावया सत्व तुझ निरूपिले तमरज रज ते सांडूनी सत्वे काज साधी आपुले सत्वेची येणे चोखाळे करी यज्ञादिके सकळे पावसी तै करतळे आपुले निज सूर्ये दाविले सांते काय एक न दिसे तेथे तेवी सत्वे केले फळाते काय नेदी हे कीर आवडता विखी शक्ती सत्वी आथी निकी परी मोक्षेसी एकी मिसळणे जे. He says, so when the rajas and tamas qualities are avoided, sattva quality alone is attained in its noblest aspect. So on one hand we pursue the sattva qualities, and on the other hand we try to stay away from the rajasic and the tamasic. Same way, they say Dukkha nivritti, nirankusha trupti. On one hand, you seek transcendental uh, contentment, and on the other hand, dukkha nivritti. The passive way of saying is dukkha nivritti, removal, uh, uh, removal of dukkha. And these both things happen simultaneously at any level. You cannot remove the world and then go to sleep. Removal of all thoughts from your mind and the no thought state which you call as sleep are simultaneous. You understand? You cannot try to become a wife or husband. The moment you look, there you are. It cannot be slowly. And yet, if you think while you are in the waking, slowly you are going to sleep, all your activities are taking you towards the bed and sleep. But then your attention is on activity. We are looking at a different angle. And what is that? Sleep happens at that very moment. The nivritti, withdrawal from the waking world also happens. Attainment of sleep and withdrawal from waking happens at the same time, fully. The same way, the moment we withdraw from rajas and tamas, that very moment we fall into the lap of sattva. You see? So when the rajas and tamas qualities are avoided, sattva quality alone is attained in its noblest aspect. So I had to mention the characteristics of rajas and tamas qualities in order to show you clearly the sattva quality. So when we compare sattva with rajas and tamas, then we are able to understand. If we had just told you sattva, yajna, sattvic tapas, sattvic dan, sattvic shraddha, then it would not have made an impression on your mind. हाँ ठीक है बहुत बार सुन लिया. But now when we saw what is rajasic shraddha and what is tamasic shraddha and so on with the other qualities, yajna, dan, tapa, etc., now we are clearly able to bifurcate which quality to pursue and which qualities to avoid. What attitudes to pursue and what attitudes to avoid. In other words, rajas and tamas are the pitfalls. They take us in the wrong. That's like an accident. Don't go in that direction. So stay away from rajas and tamas. Then he says, you should therefore take recourse to the sattva quality by abandoning other two and accomplish your object. And what is the object of your life? What is the object of your life? Moksha, Brahmajnana, realization, whatever you may call it. See? And that is only possible when if we are considering all these things, yajna, dan, tapa, shraddha, etc., then we must come to the sattvic mode. Only from the sattvic mode we can get out of the gravity of the maya. This maya is expressing as sattva, rajas, tamas. Remember this. This mind, maya at individual level is the mind. This mind, how do you know there is mind? Because you have got these three type of qualities. Sattvic quality, rajasic quality, tamasic quality. And everything is pervaded by these three. And so from tamas, which is lethargy, indolence, procrastination, laziness, sleep, how can you generate energy or become available to become free from the the from the maya or the mind. How can you? Mind is continuously lazy. मोक्ष चाहिए, कैसे चाहिए? आप हाथ लगा दो सर पे, आप मंत्र फूक दो कान में. See? And you will see this happening in many places. They invite pujaris to come and do the puja. They are watching the TV serials. Nothing happens like this. Best temple in the house. That is 5-star spirituality. We've got the best pandit to come and do the puja. We've got the best marble statue in the house. We've got a huge room dedicated to the temple. Bhagwan, Bhagwan, Bhagwan. We have got very nice. Everything is good. Bhagavad Gita is there. Bookshelf is there. Statues are there. Photographs are there. But to another human being, you can't talk properly. What's the point? What's the point? Mind is always agitated. So by making a nowadays it's a fashion among Indian houses, one room dedicated to the temple. But mind is unsettled. Mind goes into depression. Mind becomes angry. Continuously loses the plot. Is afraid of disease, afraid of death, afraid of nears and dears going away or dying. What is this? Build the temple in your mind. Then you are in sattvic mode. Don't build temple outside. And if it is building outside, then you must mature into the sattvic by constant engagement with the Lord. It's not for show. With beautiful lighting, it's more show. Beautiful lamps, agarbatti chal rahi hai. Very nicely you have decorated the whole thing. But it must percolate into your personality. So you should therefore take recourse to the sattva quality by abandoning the other two and accomplishing your object. What is your object? Nirankusha trupti, nirvana. So perform all your actions, including sacrificial rites, with the help of sattva quality and attain to your pristine nature. Okay. So perform all activity, keeping in view the sattvic attitude. See? And now we know the sattvic shraddha, rajasic shraddha, tamasic shraddha was told. Now have that attitude. Have the sattvic, have sattvic shraddha in whatever you do. Then it will benefit us. Then we'll purify. We'll become matured. Wisdom doesn't come from reading books. Get this once and for all. Wisdom does not come, maturity does not come from reading books. Otherwise, scriptures would have said Pathanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. They have written Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. We must listen to satsang. In satsang, you will be challenged again and again. You will be challenged, meaning your notions will be challenged. So now in the last 20 verses itself, we must have seen many things that somewhere we must be falling into the tamasic mode, somewhere we are falling into the rajasic. Now we know, hey man, I should not go there. I was doing that is then rajasic. I must change it to sattvic. You must have all as we were listening, you must have made those mental notes that we have to correct ourselves, we have to refine ourselves. So perform all your actions, including sacrificial rites, yajna, with the help of sattvic quality and attain to your pristine nature. Pristine nature, we are not talking about the jiva, we are talking about the atma, atma tattva, the spirit. That is the pristine nature. Jiva is not pristine. Jiva is adulterated. Atma, as if, underlined, apostrophe, bold, as if, adulterated with body identification, is called Jiva. So it is not pristine. And where is Jiva? Doesn't exist. It's a ghost. So get to the reality. To whom is being told? It is not being told to a person who is realized. It is being told to the person who is a seeker. And seeker is considering himself to be a jiva, a conditioned entity. He still thinks that he has to do something, he has to achieve something, he has to realize something. And why is he doing this? Because kartrutva abhiman is there. So when it is in the kartrutva abhiman, abhiman also is of three types: sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. It cannot be any other way. So if you want to be the doer, be a sattvic doer, then it will automatically purification will happen. The ego will dissolve, the doership will dissolve if you are doing it the sattvic way. But if you do it the rajasic and tamasic, then there is no hope. Now, all these extra bits that we are telling you will not come to you by reading this. You can read, you can buy this book and read it. All this extra I am telling you is not, it was only one line. That one line is getting expanded. That is why this place is called, from where we speak, it's called Vyasapit. Vyas means taking one word and expanding it. So Jnaneshwar Maharaj expanded on the Bhagavad Gita, and we are expanding the words of Jnaneshwar Maharaj. Vyasa. Expansion. This cannot happen by reading. If you are not qualified for it, you open the book after some time, hey, बहुत हो गया यार, आज इतना ही काफी है. But in satsang for 1 hour at least, out of 1.5 hours, at least for 1 hour, you can remain focused. Because you don't have to do anything, only listen. And if you are subjective, then this listening becomes fruitful. It delivers you the pristine nature. Merely by listening, it delivers you the pristine nature. If you listen properly, then you don't have to do mananam and nididhyasanam. And how do you listen properly? Proper listening is, what is that principle because of which my ears are hearing? What is that power behind the ears because of which hearing is possible? What is that power because of which thoughts are possible? Can that power be outside of me? Can that power be separate from me? Or is that power me? Sit still. Be in that poise. If the sun is there to show you, is there anything which you cannot see? In the same way, if there is sattva quality to guide you, how will your actions not yield the fruit? When the sun comes up, everything becomes crystal clear. Same way, take one example. The sun is reflecting in the waters. You put ink in the water. Will the sun reflect? It has become dark. You can't see the reflection of the sun. So nothing is clear. Then, if the waters are agitated, too many waves on the water, again you cannot see the reflection of the sun. But when the waters are calm and clear, which is the sattvic mode, then the reflection is clear. See? So same way, Jnaneshwar Maharaj is telling here, is there anything which you cannot see? What is that? If the sun is there, if the sun is illuminating things, the world, is there anything that you cannot see? All you have to do is put your attention to it and it will be clear. It will be available. Same way, sattva is that where the sun is brightly shining. It is not covered. It is not influenced by the agitating thoughts, which is rajas, or by the tamasic thoughts or attitudes. So in sattva, everything becomes clear, and that's why it is told, as we move towards the sattva disposition, then whatever questions come to you, answer also comes from within only. Then this outside dependence stops. You can continue listening to the satsang, no doubt, but the answers come from within. What is appropriate for you, in which direction you have to go, what sadhana has to be done, what is not working, what is working, what we are doing, or through the words of Bhagavad Gita or Jnaneshwari is only give you a data. But what you do with the data, how effective, how do you sort that data and apply that data in your life? If you are in sattvic mode, it will be fantastic. You will be able to put it into place. You will be able to apply it correctly. Because then you become, as you move into sattvic disposition, you become intuitive. You are not afraid of anything. There is Atma Bala, there is total self-confidence. That how can anyone in this world tell me what I have to do? Lord will tell me. He will reveal it to me from within. The day this happens, there is total fearlessness after that. कहाँ गया यार? There is total fearlessness after that. See? Sattva doesn't mean wearing nice clothes, having ornaments, having a nice bindi and all the scents and everything, and we have gone to and sat down in puja or temple. That is not sattva, that is a joke. But at a very, very gross level, unless you don't feel good about yourself, at least at the body level. You see? Catch these points, Baba. How will your actions not yield the fruit? So when we are in the sattvic mode, whether we are having the shraddha, the right attitudes, the right disposition, the sattvic yajna, the sattvic tapas, the sattvic dan, what will happen as a result of this? We will get established in our pristine nature. It is a foregone conclusion. It will happen. Why it will happen? Because if we are performing actions in the sattvic disposition, purification is a foregone conclusion. Okay. And what is purified mind? Purified mind, from the yogic point of view, purified mind is unagitated mind, calm mind. From Vedantic point of view, sattvic mind or pure mind is your disposition where you are undisturbed by the mind, uninfluenced by the mind. You have unclutched from the mind. When you have unclutched from the mind, that is your pristine nature. And what is mind? Mind is that in which the whole world is. Not the mind is in the world. The whole world is in the mind, including this body, including this breath. But we think totally opposite. That body is there, inside the body the breath is there, inside, then there is the mind, and please contemplate. So I am sitting in meditation. What am I doing? I am thinking inside on the self. Buddhu, in the self the whole world is. Other than the self nothing is. And you are looking for it inside. As if outside the truth is not there, is it? It is true that the sattva quality does possess this power, and yet that which conduces to liberation is something else. So sattva quality, see, remember one thing. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. So when we are talking about sattva, rajas, tamas, these are just three ideas presented through from observation, that these are the three modes of operation of our mind with regards to various things: yajna, dan, tapa, shraddha, anna, etc., etc., ahankar. So this is what nobody has seen mind. We know mind because of these three. See? Can mind come to aprapya manasasaha? Can the mind come to know the truth? Not possible. Aprapya manasasaha. It cannot comprehend the truth because mind is limited, mind is finite, thoughts are finite, concepts are temporary. But truth, that I am, so many concepts have come and gone, so many thoughts have come and gone. Childhood, youth, middle age, old age has come and gone. I have continued to be the same. So that permanent principle, the life principle, can it be known by the mind? No. But it becomes available. We become very clear. We become doubt free about it, about that principle, when we are in the sattvic mode. When we are in the sattvic mode. In the 321st verse, OV, where are we? ते एक आनची आहे तयाचा सावावो जैला है ते तै मोक्षा चाही होये घावी सरते भय भांगार जरही पंधरे तरही राजावळीची अक्षरे लाहे तैची सरे जिया परी स्वच्छे शीतळे सुगंधे जळे होती सुखप्रदे परी पवित्रत्व संबंधे तीर्थाचेनी नहीं हो का भल तैसी थोरी परी गंगा जय अंगीकारी तैची तिये सागरी प्रवेशुगा. तैसे सात्विका कर्मा किरीटी, ये ता मोक्षाची ये भेटी, न पडे आड काठी ते वेगळे आहे. हा बोलू ऐकत खेवी, अर्जुना आधीन माये जीवी, म्हणे देवे कृपा करावी, सांगावे ते. तेथ कृपाळू चक्रवर्ती, म्हणे ऐकतयाची व्यक्ती, जेणे सात्विकते मुक्ती रत्न देखे. He says here that when one secures the aid of this thing, one steps into the domain of deliverance. What is this thing? The Sattvika thing. That is what it is. When one comes to get established in the Sattvic disposition, then deliverance is not far. When you have reduced your thoughts as a result of your focus on the sleep, then sleep is not far. When you have opened the fridge, food is not far. When you have opened your eyes, the world is not far. Exactly the same way. When we have opened the Sattva Guna, we have become available to the Sattva Guna, we are established in the Sattvic disposition, then deliverance is not far, moksha is not far away. But Sattva is not the cause of moksha. Understand this. Because Sattvic disposition is of the mind. Mind can never deliver you. Mind can never come to know the truth. Even if one has pure gold of the highest quality, 15 annas in a rupee, it serves as currency only if it bears the royal insignia. Huh? Gold as itself, see, if you take what is the Perth mint, if the stamp is there, it will have more value. If it is having a stamp of some other, I don't know, there must be some. If we find gold coins with 700 years ago when the kings used to have their stamp, it will be many more the worth of gold because of the stamp on it. So what is that? Because of what is the stamp on the mind, on the Sattva Rajas Tamas, which makes it possible for the Sattva Rajas Tamas to happen? I think in that direction Bhagavan Jnaneshwar Maharaj is going. He says, there may be pure, cool and fragrant water which gives pleasure, but it becomes holy when it is connected with a holy stream. Huh? Let's see where it is taking us. Holy stream. However big a stream might be, it gains access to the sea only if it joins a big river. In the same way, that which removes the obstacles in the way of one's seeking deliverance with the help of sattvic actions is entirely different. So who is that person? Who is that? What is that principle? What is that essence? What is that power? What is that cause of all causes, because of which even the mind is functioning? See, very simple. World is available to us because of our senses, correct? Senses are available to us because there is a mind behind. Mind is available to us because there is intellect behind. Intellect is available to us because there is life behind. Chaitana, life principle. Life principle is there because there is Chaitanya, there is consciousness. See? So we come back. So what is that? Without the conscious principle, will all the others be possible? Not possible, no? That, so therefore Jnaneshwar Maharaj is saying that is a different thing. So even this sattva is only possible because of that particular principle. The what is that? The atmic principle, the conscious principle. In the same way, that which removes the obstacle in the way of one seeking deliverance with the help of sattvic actions is entirely different. After hearing this, Arjuna could not contain his eagerness with himself and said, "O Lord, kindly tell me what it is." I have already told, but he is saying, please tell me what it is. What is that divine principle because of which even the mind is functioning, because of which even the sattva, rajas, tamas are expressing? In other words, mind is functioning because these three are only in the mind. Now don't ask question, are they, if they are in the mind, are they not in the body? Arey Baba, body is a concept of the mind. Is only a thought in the mind. So if it is in the mind, then everything in this universe, as I told you before, the entire universe is in the mind. In fact, let's break it down. The entire universe of name and form is in the space. Space is a concept of the mind. And in Vigyan Bhairav, this exercise is there. The Bhutakash, the outside space, the Chittakash, which is the mental space. So mental space is the cause, and Bhutakash, the outside gross space, is the effect. The effect is included in the cause. It's not separate from the cause. Gold is the cause, ornament is the effect. Ornament is included in the gold. Ornament is not separate from the gold. This view of the world which we have at this moment is inverted. We are looking at it upside down. That God is somewhere inside. No, we are in the God. I think in some other class I explained this, that we say, oh, this is my house space. No, the house is in the space. Space is not in the house. So in this way, what is that principle? What is that divine principle? Arjuna is asking, because of which this sattva, rajas, tamas are become activated, or mind is functioning with these three modes. O Lord, kindly tell me what it is. Then the merciful Lord said, I shall now tell you how a sattvic person secures this gem in the form of emancipation. Now in the 23rd verse. Om Tatsaditi Nirdesho Om Tatsaditi Nirdesho Brahmanastrividhas smrutaha Brahmanastrividhas smrutaha Brahmanastena Vedascha Brahmanastena Vedascha Yajñascha Vihita Pura Yajñascha Vihita Pura. Om Tatsaditi Nirdesho Brahmanastrividha Smrutaha Brahmanastena Vedascha Yajñascha Vihita Pura. He says, Om Tatsat. This is known as the threefold designation of Brahman. By that, the Vedas, the Brahmanas, and sacrifices were ordained of old. These are the three words which indicate the reality, that constant principle, that infinite truth, that Atmic Tattva, the Atmic principle, which is my essential nature, which is as if covered at this moment. It's not available to me in its entirety at the moment. These three words, Om Tat Sat, you will see most of the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, they all end with Om Tat Saditi. Bhagavad Gita, every chapter, Om Tat Saditi, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su, Upanishatsu, Brahma Vidyayam, Yoga Shastre, Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade, Purushottama Yogo Nama, Panchadashodhyayah, Om Tat Saditi. Every mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, Om is first. Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Aim Reem Klim Chamundayai Viche. Again Om is there. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. All mantras, majority of the mantras, they begin with Om. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Again Om. Most of the Upanishads, they begin with Om or Atha. Om is the all-inclusive syllable. Om is the natural sound of the creation. Anyway, that's not the point given here. If it is, we will talk about it. Let's see what Jnaneshwar Maharaj says here. For Tari Anadi Parabrahma जे जगदादि विश्राम धाम तयाचे एक नाम त्रिधा पै असे ते कीर अनाम अजाती परी अविद्या वर्गाचिये राती माझी ओळखावया श्रुती खूण केली उपजलिया बाळकासी नाव नाही तया पासी ठेविलेनी नावेसी ओ देत उठी. He says the Supreme Brahman without beginning. What is that? Anadi Parabrahma, Tari Anadi. Anadi without beginningless. Anadi is beginningless. Anadi Ananta. That which is beginningless is never born. Understand? So that principle, which is essentially our nature, it is Anadi Brahma. It is not born. So stop celebrating birthdays. Celebrate children's birthday, no problem. Let them enjoy. But at age of 50, 60, 70 and you want to celebrate birthdays, it's pathetic. You are living exactly contrary to the truth, to the reality. You are Anadi, you are unborn and you are celebrating birthdays. Totally opposite position. लगे रहो फिर, फंसे रहो, remain caught up. Who can save you then? Even if you read this Bhagavad Gita 10 times and keep celebrating birthdays, no liberation possible. Why? Because body identification, this body is real. This body has become 51, 52, 71, 72. The age is of the body. But what are the scriptures saying? You are ageless, you are never born. The Atma, the Parabrahma, who is none other than the Atma, or is Anadi and Ananta. The Supreme Brahman without beginning, which is the resting place of the whole universe, has a triple name. Truly speaking, has a triple name, in which the whole universe is existing. Here he is saying the whole universe is the resting place. That Parabrahma is the resting place of the whole universe. The whole universe of ocean and waves, where is it resting? In the infinite waters. And what is the universe? It is the ocean, it is the tides, it is the tsunami, it is the waves, it is the froth, it is the droplets, it is the rain, it is the wells, it is the ponds, it is the rivers, it is the rivulets, streams, drains, storm water, everything, all forms of water. That is the universe of the. But can that variety in which the whole universe is, can that universe be apart from water? Or all those expressions, can it be apart from water? So all those expressions of water are in the water, as the water, and water as such, even though it is supporting all the expressions of water, of ocean, wave, tide, etc., etc., but water is uninfluenced by any one of them. You understand? So what are these oceans or waves or rivers or drops or froth or well or pond? They are just name and form. Essence is water. The ornaments are nothing but name and form. Essence is gold. Gold has got no form. Mud has got no form. Pot has a form. But all pots cannot be without the mud. So exactly the same way, this entire universe that we are experiencing. And what is your experience of the universe? Let me remind you. It is not only the waking world, not only the waking state. Your universe is the waking world plus dream world plus deep sleep world. All the three together is your universe. That means, and what is deep sleep? Absence of waking and dream. And where is this presence of the universe and absence of the universe? Where is it resting? What is its resting place? The Parabrahma, the infinite reality. And that infinite reality, now when we are talking about universe, just don't look at the whole world, but I am independent. No, you are a part. As long as you are the body, breath, mind, intellect, that is also part of the universe. Think. And what is this entire universe's resting place? Parabrahma. And this Parabrahma, this infinite reality, this divine principle, which is Ekameva Dvitiya, Ishavasyamidagam Sarvam Yat Kinchit Jagatyam Jagat, that Isha, which is pervading everything, which is supporting everything, yet transcendental to everything. That does not mean everything exists, that everything which is the universe is only a superimposition. It's only an imagination. Ornament is an imagination on the gold. A wave is an imagination on water. A pot is an imagination on mud. You are touching, tasting, feeling, smelling mud, but you are calling it pot because you are obsessed with the form and shape. And this universe is nothing but name and forms. But what is the essence out of which it is made? As Ishavasya Upanishad, the first verse told, that he is the Abhinna Nimitta Upadan Karan. He is the undifferentiated creator and the material which has gone into making this creation. So where is this universe which includes our body, breath, mind, intellect? Where is it resting? It is resting in that infinite reality, and that reality can be contacted. You can connect with it even though you are, but at this moment you are a seeker. How do you connect with it? Om Tat Sat. These are the three words, three syllables by which you can connect with it. Truly speaking, so here it says, has a triple name. That triple name is Om Tat Sat. So this verse begins with that, no? Om Tat Sat Iti. Truly speaking, it has no name or caste. Who? This Parabrahma, this infinite principle, this Atmic principle. You are calling it Atma. You are inside, you call it Atma, outside you call it Brahma, Parabrahma, excuse me, Brahman. The space which is outside the house and the space which is inside the house is one and the same, isn't it? The air which is outside and air which has gone through your nostrils and gone inside, is it separate? It's still the same. Exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. It has no name or caste. It is not a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. It has, that principle has not gone through Brahmachari, what you call Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. You cannot superimpose that reality to be Brahmin reality. You know, like this is the stupidity of humankind. They have got temples which are for Brahmins, there are temples which are for Shudras, there are temples which are for Kshatriyas or Vaishyas. How we divide and divide and divide and make our life difficult, and then comparison, then fights. That Sikh religion, which was meant to unite everyone, even there also, originally they were also Hindus only. But those who are Brahmins there, they have their own Gurudwaras. Those who are Shudras or scheduled class, they have their own Gurudwaras. There also there is division. This is only because man is obsessed with name and form. But instead here, this verse is giving us a tool. Having come to the sattvic state, we have not dropped, we have not realized. We are still very karmat, we are still action oriented. We have moved from tamas to rajas, rajas to sattva. Or sometimes we slip into the other two also. But does that mean that we don't have a way to connect with the divine? Because divine is ever present, no? These are the three words, Om Tat Sat, by which you can connect with the divine. Now he'll tell you how. Truly speaking, it has no name or caste, but the Vedas have given it a name, so that persons who live in the darkness of ignorance may be able to identify it. Who are these people who are living in darkness of ignorance? Those who consider they are the body, those who consider that they were born, those who consider that they will die one day, those who consider this universe was there before they were born and this universe will continue after they are dead. These are, in other words, who are these people who are in the darkness of ignorance? Who have not recognized, realized, discovered their reality, their Atmic principle. Those who are still living at the mercy of the creation. So such people who are still identified with the body, who are still identified with the world, who still have something to achieve in this world. So is there no hope for them? Yes, there is hope. How? You can think of Om Tat Sat and remain in touch with it. So what people do? Khana kha liya, Om. After food they do the dakar of Om. हो गया भाई, अच्छा पेट भर गया. Om is, When they begin something, they will say Om. अच्छी बात है. At least somewhere is connected to the infinite. Anyway, a child is born without a name, but it answers and gets up when it is called by a name given to it, isn't it? Every child is born without a name, but you superimpose a name on that child. See how beautiful example he has given, Jnaneshwar Maharaj. This is observation of life. We are living in default mode. What we have been doing for last 20-30 years, same thing we are doing again and again. Same words we speak again and again. It was wonderful rain today, चाय पकौड़े का समय हो गया. अरे कुछ और भी कुछ अच्छी चीज़ सोचो. और मेडिटेशन का टाइम हो गया, चलो थोड़ा चैंटिंग का टाइम हो गया. वही चाय वही पकौड़ा, इसको बोलते हैं डिफॉल्ट सेटिंग्स. So if you are used to default settings, change the default setting to Om Tat Sat. See? So that child who is not having a name, we give him a name, slowly he gets used to the name. Before he never listens to that name. तुम उसको बोलो चुच्चू, पुट्टू, पुट्टी, कुट्टी, कुट्टा, whatever you call him. He will respond slowly when he gets used to it. Because so many times you are repeating it. Same way. The Vedas, that is the manual of the human being. The Vedas are telling that infinite reality which is even though it is available all the time, but you are not able to see it because of your obsession with name and form. You can connect with that unseen reality, unspecified reality, anadi, unborn reality with the name Om Tat Sat. See, that's the name given to it. कष्टले संसार क्षीणे जे देवो येति गार्हाणे तया ओदे नावे जेणे तो संकेतुहा ब्रह्माचा अबोला फिटावा अद्वैत तत्वे तो भेटावा ऐसा मंत्रु देखिला कणवा वेदे बापे मग दाविले निजेणे एके ब्रह्म आळविले कवतिके मागा असत ठाके पुढा उभे परी निगमाचळ शिखरी उपनिषदार्थ नगरी आहाती जे ब्रह्माच्या एकाहारी तयासीच कळे हेही असौ प्रजापती शक्ती जे सृष्टी करीती ते जया एका आवृत्ती नामाचिये. He says, when people tormented by the worries of the world approached Brahman with their grievances, the name by which they call it and which evokes a response from it is its symbolic name. Huh? So you have given it name Krishna, you have given it name Radha, someone has given it a name Om Namah Shivaya, someone has given it so many different names. If you don't want to, already, what did we say the world is? Name and form. So what is the other name? Om Namah Shivaya. That Shivaya is the form. Om Namo Narayanaya. Salutations. Om, salutations. To whom? To the form, Narayana. Narayana is the form. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram. Om again. And the Ram is the form. But here we are saying he is formless, attributeless. So when people tormented by the worries of the world, Upanishads are, okay, let's see what he says. When people tormented by the worries of the world approached Brahman with their grievances. So we also do the same thing. How? We approach the temple, we think the Lord is in the temple or in our altar at home, and we approach, आज मेरा दिन अच्छा चले जाए, let my day go nicely today, let my enemies be vanquished, let me win the court case today. Huh? Let me, I'm going for a long drive for business, let my journey be safe and sound and I come back home safe. Isn't it? So why that prayer? Only because you are afraid. Only because you collected data that on that journey accidents happen, difficulties come, mishaps happen. And therefore, सुबह सुबह टीका लगाओ, पूजा करो, दिया लगाओ, प्रेयर करो. So in Upanishads, they don't talk about God, they talk about the infinite reality. In Dvaita, they talk about God with form and so approach is the same. See? And that approach is always a beggar. Everyone is begging. Wife is begging from husband, husband is begging from wife, parents are begging from children, children are begging from parents. We are begging food. Food is begging us, please consume me, and we say, please be consumed. We are begging the Lord, please save us, please protect us, yeah. Please provide for us, please take care of us, please make us realize. God also cannot make you realize, you know that. He cannot make you realize. Because you are already that. How can wave realize water? It is already water. How can ornament realize gold? It is already gold. How can you realize? You are already realized. But you are imagining that you are not realized. And creating a big confusion, and because of non-realization of your real nature, you have created this samsara. So if I call Meena, Meena will immediately put the audio on and she'll reply. Now I'll say Usha. If there are two Ushas here, they will also put their audio and they will say, yes Swamiji, yes Swamiji. Both don't know whom I called, but I called the names. But they respond because they recognize that this is the name by which, that is my name. And that name is to invoke attention, invoke a response. Therefore we chant the Ashtottara. Therefore when that Ashtottara doesn't bring a response, then we chant a Sahasranam. Then when that also doesn't give response, then Devi Sahasranam, Vishnu Sahasranam, Narasimha Sahasranam, Rama Sahasranam, Shiva Sahasranam, लगे रहो एक के पीछे एक के पीछे एक के पीछे एक. Bhaiya, only one word is enough. Om, here three. Om Tat Sat is enough. Don't complicate your life. If you take Ram and you get married and they are Shiva Bhakt, हो गया confusion शुरू. And many people, they get initiated from here, there, everywhere, and then they are totally confused. Which name to take, when to take, how to do it. Here, Vedas are our authority. They say Om Tat Sat. Are the names. So when we call out the name Om Tat Sat, that infinite reality will come. with whatever our wishes. But it will come, it will be available, it is always available, but it will become available to you only to the extent with which bhav you call it out, with what attitude, with what availability. The more you are available, the more you are cleansed, more you are nirmal, more there is no doubt about it. With a pure mind and a pure heart you call it out, it will come, it will reveal, it will guide. See, like when I went to Kailash once, one doctor was there and a surgeon, and 70 years old, but he did the whole parikrama. But at that, he had the camera and the lenses and this and that, and one Sherpa carrying it all, and he used to always sleep next to me only. I want to sleep with Swamiji. And every morning, not every morning, for 2-3 times it happened that he is carrying the electric, what do you call, phone charger, you know, the electric charger, what do you call it? I can't remember the name, what it's called. तो वो जो भी चार्जर होता है, तो वो चार्जर की वायर, the camera had to be charged, that wire, then so many other things. So every time something will go missing because you're under the duna, under the chair, it's so cold, 17,000 feet, 4 feet, hands are cold, feet are cold. In the morning we have to start at 6 o'clock in the morning, and quickly you go, in the dark you go with the torch, go toilet, shower, not shower, brush, and come back. And now you have to pack your bag quickly. And Swamiji, I am missing this, I am missing that. And then, because we are in the dormitory, some of us will try to help, but where we will find? And then after some search, when he can't find, he says, no, you carry on, it will come to me. And what is his trick? He chants Hanuman Chalisa. He says, Hanumanji helps me. He has absolute, utter faith. And before he finishes Hanuman Chalisa, that thing reveals itself. Because it is there only somewhere. It is there only. It has not gone somewhere else. So where is this Parabrahma Paramatma? It is here only. It's everywhere. It is not separate. It is not coming from far away. If the wave is wanting to know the waters, how far distance the water has to come to meet the wave? It doesn't have to travel any distance. It is there and then, here and now. Question is, has the wave been able to give up its waveness and become surrendered to the water? And it's calling out, Aham waterosmi, Aham waterosmi, Aham waterosmi. We say Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. It's a thought. You have to become available to it. See? So here, where are we? They call it, and which evokes a response from it as its symbolic name. So Om Tat Sat is the symbolic name of that infinite reality by which you can call it, you can invoke it, you can by which it will come and help, it will guide. And eventually, this is while you are still in Sattva Rajas Tamas. You are thinking this way. You are living in this world. In order to end the glum silence of Brahman and to realize it in its non-dual form, the Vedas discovered a sacred formula mantra out of kindness for the world. If God is called by this symbolic name, he stands in front of the caller, though he is formless, but only those who come up to the level of God Brahma, sitting by his side in the city in the form of Upanishads, on the summit of the mountains in the form of the Vedas, know this formula. So which means our journey has to come towards the Upanishads. And when we are listening to the Upanishads, let's be subjective in our approach, then the mantras, all mantras are about the reality alone. They are guiding to you towards the reality. The reality will reveal. See? Let it not let not the satsang become an intellectual addiction. Let it not become an intellectual addiction. We have just replaced drinking liquid spirituality with satsang spirituality. One addiction with another addiction. No, don't make it an addiction. Make it subjective. In fact, God Brahma attained the power to create the world through the chanting of this formula. So only those who come up to the level of God Brahma. What is God Brahma? Within us, where is God Brahma? Who is God Brahma? Creator, isn't it? Vishnu is the maintainer and Shiva is the destroyer. Brahma is the creator. So who is he within us? He has 4 heads. Where are our 4 heads? Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar. These are our 4 heads. The inner equipments. Majority of us are not even aware of this. We are only aware of the names and forms. We are only aware of our social responsibilities. We are only aware what meal we have to make next. We are only aware of our children's needs. We are only aware of our duties. We are only aware of our festivals. We are only aware of our health. Very few people like you all come. You wean yourself away from these gross involvements. As much as exercise is necessary for keeping the body fit, similarly, what is the exercise of Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar? Satsang is the exercise. Contemplation, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam is the exercise for the Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar. And what will happen as a result of this? The Ahankar will dissolve. See? So, majority of the people, they are only living at the periphery of their personality. Absolutely outside. That is where the waves are. On the periphery of the waters are the waves. In the depths of the waters, there is silence. There is no wave. On the periphery of our personality, all disturbances are there. You versus me versus him. Affected by cold, heat, light, hunger, thirst, praise, insult. I gave them so many presents, they did not give me presents. This is all at the periphery level. But as you dive deep into yourself, when you come to where you are aware of your 4 equipments, Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar, you are aware that what is the quality of my mind, what is the quality of my intellect, of my decisions, what is the quality of my convictions, what are the quality of my emotions in the mind. Are there too many memories coming or there are no memories coming? Lesser the memory, but lesser is the ego. More the memories, bigger is the ego. And when we are alert, aware towards this, then we are coming slowly, we are becoming available to the higher. This is what coming to the sattvic disposition means. This attitude is not at the body level. Body doesn't have any attitude. Senses don't have any attitude. Mind also doesn't have any attitude because mind only pumps thoughts. एक के बाद एक के बाद एक के बाद एक. For who is the attitude? For the embodied, for the jiva. And he is having the attitude because he is considered himself to be the body. So his attitude is, I am healthy or not healthy, I am tamasic, rajasic or sattvic. This is an attitude, it's an approach, it's a disposition. देखो, it is not how beautiful the statue of the Lord is. All statues, you go to villages, they take one stone and put a dot and put two eyes and put a nose and the goddess is there. But the village people's attitude towards that stone which is considered as God, that is what helps them, no? Their queries get answered, help comes to those who are surrendered to that stone. So in their mind it is not a stone. In their mind it is God, the God himself. So attitude is not in the stone. Attitude is not in this body. Attitude is not in the thoughts. Thoughts are inert, body is inert, breath is inert, concepts are inert. Attitude is your disposition, your frame. The angle of approach of the jiva. So, it's already 9. We'll talk about it more next week. So it is only, I'll tell how the God Brahma attained the power to create the world through the chanting of this formula. Then we'll talk about that next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Next week we'll start from 336th verse. Sit quietly for a minute.